Thanks, Sarah. Wow, well, the weather cooperated with us today, so good morning and thank you for being here with us to celebrate a completion of the renovation of the historic Polk County Courthouse. It feels like the court campus project has been going on for a decade, and guess what? It really has. Over 10 years ago, we got the support of the voters to consolidate all of our courts functions into one downtown campus that now includes the Justice Center, the Criminal Courts Annex, and renovation and restoration of the historic courthouse. And wow, are you guys in for a treat when you do your tour. If you can believe it, this courthouse was built in 1905 for $700,000 as Des Moines was starting to create a footprint in the Midwest. Over the course of time, as the city started to grow, intricate historical features were covered up by growing demands and renovations of the building. As you tour the building, you will see original features of the building that have been uncovered and brought to new life, including and revealing 33-foot high exposed ceilings, restoration of hand-painted artwork, and 7-foot tall chandeliers. It is really stunning. This $40 million renovation showcases the historic glory of this building, and more importantly, we now have a modern courthouse that accommodates our thriving city and is complete with all of the most current safety and technology features. I know that the judges and all you lawyers absolutely love. Thank you to OPN Architects, Newman Construction, and the countless subcontractors who were responsible for the beautiful work that was done. And thank you to our general services staff who have been here, I know, every single day and who were critical in completing this project. So thanks to them. And thank you to the court staff for your input in the design process and your flexibility during construction. Some who lost their courtrooms. I can't even tell you how many calls I got about that. And thank you to the numerous judges, and especially Judge Gamble, who were personally involved in creating this vision of this building. I saw Judge Obram in the audience, and she reminded me of one of the trips that we took when we were all looking at different courthouses around the country. This has definitely been a journey. I see EJ, Supervisor Joe Metti in the audience. We have been doing this for a long time, so I am so excited to be here today. And finally, I want to thank the taxpayers who in 2013 approved a bond to fund this work, because without them, we couldn't have done it. So now I want to turn this over to Chief Judge Hubbard, who's enjoying this building.
Thank you, Angela. As you heard, my name is Mike Hubbard, and it's been my pleasure to serve as the Chief Judge of the 5th Judicial District since January of 2019. I'm honored to be here today to join the chorus of thanks and appreciation as we recognize the completion of the restoration and renovation of the Polk County Historic Courthouse. It was almost 8 years ago, as I reminded Angela, on a very cold night in November of 2014, when many of us gathered on the east side of the courthouse and the other side to commemorate the completion of the first phase of the construction, which involved the cleaning and the restoration of the exterior of the historic courthouse. For the first time, we were able to fully visualize what a truly beautiful building this is, and I know that for me and many of our colleagues, it was a sign of even greater things to come. The work then circled back to the historic courthouse after the completion of the Justice Center in 2016 and the Polk County Criminal Courts building in 2018. Once we began work on the interior of the historic courthouse, we took on the task of holding court while still in an active construction zone. Not an easy job, to say the least, as Angela's cell phone record torture test. And just as we were getting the hang of that, we were hit with a global pandemic that challenged everything we understood about being a court system. Nevertheless, we continued to persevere through the completion of the construction on the south side of this building in 2020 and the completion on the north side earlier this year. For those of you who have not yet been inside, you will be amazed at the quality of the restoration. So many of the original details of the original construction in 1906 have been brought back to life, especially within the courtrooms on the 3rd floor. But along with this, the historic courthouse now incorporates state-of-the-art design and technology that I think rivals any court building in the nation. There are many people who are responsible for this achievement, and I'd like to take a moment to thank some of them now. I'm going to apologize in advance because I know I'm going to forget somebody. There's just too many people to cover to get it in the time we have allotted. Some of the names you've already heard, but they all deserve as much recognition as we can give them on this special occasion. I too want to begin by recognizing the untiring work of my predecessor, then Chief Judge Arthur Gamble. The need to bring much needed improvements to this historic courthouse was a priority of ours for literally decades. And I do not believe we would be here today without his unceasing efforts to make this happen. Thank you, Art, as well as retired Judge Liza Obram and former District Court Administrators Beth Baldwin and the late Christopher Patterson for their hard work on behalf of the Iowa Judicial Branch. Of course, the operation of any Iowa courthouse is a partnership between the court system and county officials, and we've been blessed to be able to work with so many cooperative and gracious county officials over the years while this project's been ongoing. I would like to recognize not only the current board, Chairperson Angela Connolly, as well as Supervisors Tom Hawkinsmith, Matt McCoy, Bob Brownell, and Steve Van Ort, but those on prior boards who helped make this project a priority and a reality, especially former Supervisors John Morrow and E.J. Giovannetti. Thank you all for your dedication to ensuring that the citizens of Polk County and the state of Iowa have a first-class 21st century court facility. I'd also like to recognize Polk County General Services, as has already been noted, for their hard work getting us through this process and the pride they take in our courthouse campus. And I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize the hard work and dedication of the Polk County Sheriff's Office, led by Sheriff Kevin Schneider, who's responsible for keeping our staff and the citizenry who come in here safe on a daily basis. Thank you, Sheriff, as well as all the members of your office for what you do for the court system in Polk County. I also want to join in thanks and appreciation of the hard work and dedication of OPN Architects and their leadership team, especially Dave Hill and Will Kistner and Joe Feldman, as well as all of the craftsmen and artisans from Newman Brothers who were an essential part of the painstaking work necessary to restore the historic courthouse to its original appearance. I know that we have many members of the Polk County Bar Association here today, and I want to make sure that their efforts to promote the need for courthouse improvements over the years were recognized, especially the hard work of Eric Turner and Guy Cook, who took on the initial thankless job of promoting the original plans for the building we were talking about building just to the south of the historic courthouse on what's currently the Cherry Street parking lot. While that effort was unsuccessful, and that probably is saying something, the county and the courts gained considerable insights from the citizens of Polk County into the priorities they were looking for in the needed improvements of our court facilities. The county listened, and as a result, we now have a beautiful courthouse campus that will be able to serve the people of Iowa for many, many years. I want to conclude by taking just a moment of personal privilege. Operating a court system out of 3 buildings is a lot like having 3 children. You love them all just the same, but there are times that you are reminded, because of the common or shared experience that you have with them, that you have a special bond with them. That is how I feel about the historic courthouse. And as I look over the crowd gathered today, I know that there are many of you who would agree. Because this is the building where we learn how to practice law. This is the place where we probably first encountered a judge. Maybe the first place we ever caught help from a judge. We came down here to argue a motion, pick a jury, cross-examine a witness, make a closing, take a verdict, all of the things that make a lawyer a courthouse lawyer. The legal profession in Polk County has maintained a reputation for generations for the highest levels of professionalism and civility. I like to think that that reputation has been the result, in large part, of the expectations that are generated when a lawyer enters into this magnificent building. You want to bring your very best when you are inside the Polk County Courthouse. I am so very pleased that this restored jewel of the Iowa court system, along with its 2 younger siblings, will be available to generations of lawyers to come and serve as a source of continued pride and a dedication to the provision of access to justice for all who enter. Thank you all for being here today, and a special thanks to everyone who made today possible. I'd like to turn it over now to Joe Feldman from OPN Architects for his comments.
Joe Feldman with OPN Architects. I stand here as a symbol and kind of privilege of the entire team and effort that went into this. Judge and Angela, they hit on a lot of points that were really important. At first, this project felt like a baby back in 2010 when we started master planning. Our baby's now going into 5th grade. A lot of projects last a long time, but this one seemed to take the cake on that, and it was worth it. The amount of effort and time that went into the study of historical elements, there's about a 6-month period we just spent time doing research on this project in front of us, and it was well worth it in the end. The teams that were involved, I can count probably 100 different consultants, thousands of people that touched this project. So to stand here and feel like the recognition is really everyone's. I'm just excited to have something to give back to the county, a place that creates justice and dignity for everyone, as well as safety. Those were our 3 kind of primary goals on these projects. Historic Courthouse behind us originally only had 6 courtrooms, believe it or not, and at the time that we started design, there was 29 functioning courtrooms in these spaces. They were in every nook, cranny. They were shoehorned into, right up next to restrooms. The historic courtrooms at one point cut into 4 separate courtrooms. So to say the undertaking to bring these things back to life and bring them back to their full historic condition was an undertaking is pretty significant. We were able to do that. We restored those 6 historic courtrooms back to their full glory. That was an effort of doing historical research on the types of paint that were used, peeling back paint layers, all those fun things that happened. We did it on this project to make it right. We also added 17 additional modern-day courtrooms, all of which bring all of the amenities that every court needs, the audiovisual technology. Believe it or not, this building wasn't ever really air conditioned. If you ever remember driving by about 10 years ago, there was air conditioners hanging out of the windows. So to be able to have full mechanical, electrical, plumbing systems, and AV systems integrated into this building in a seamless way, that became a priority. Some of the best things about this project are some of the things you don't see, the things that we were able to hide, the amount of plaster work, all that was pretty significant undertaking. So we're just excited to see this end of the journey for the courts, and happy to have been a part of it. So thank you.
Invite up several members of the Polk County Bar Association to do a special presentation to the Board of Supervisors and Judge Gamble. So I can have Judge Gamble come up and the rest of the board. I'd like to introduce Adam Ziener, President of Polk County Bar Association, as well as the Honorable Jeffrey Farrell and Drew Gensch, who are co-chairs of the Polk County Bar Association Bench and Bar Committee. And I will add that following this presentation, we'll do a brief ribbon cutting at the sidewalk right here. And there are refreshments on the 2nd level, as well as tours available inside.
Well, good morning. I'm Adam Ziener, and as you heard, I'm the president this year of the Polk County Bar Association. And it's our pleasure to be here to make just a few short remarks and presentation to 2 very important, one person and one organization that helped make today possible. Today marks the ceremonial completion of the renovations of our beautiful historic courthouse. And what a sight it is. As it stands, it epitomizes our community's commitment to justice. The renovations include restoring stained glass, this beautiful stained glass dome that you'll see topping the courthouse rotunda, refinished mahogany woodwork throughout, more lighting was added to increase the visibility of the historic paintings and quotes about justice. and law on the ceiling. While its form is true to its historic beginnings, it also has been updated to first-class function. With its use of technology and its use of space, it allows a safe and efficient administration of justice to all. On behalf of the Polk County Bar Association, we appreciate all for their efforts to make today a reality. But again, there's just one person and one organization that we would like to recognize specially. First, then Chief Judge Arthur Gamble. Judge Gamble was appointed to the bench in 1983. He became a senior judge in January of 2019. He served many years here as Chief Judge of District 5C, and as was alluded to by Chief Justice Huppert, he's been working on this since long before the voters approved the 2013 referendum. His vision has been profound, and his efforts have been tireless. They are without equal. Please allow us, on behalf of the Polk County Bar Association, to recognize Chief Judge Arthur Gamble. Drew Gench was able to provide that on behalf of the Bench Bar Committee. Second, our organization would like to recognize the Polk County Board of Supervisors for its work. There have been many, as you've heard, at the Polk County Board of Supervisors that have been instrumental. Many have served and gone, others have come and picked up where they left off. Angela Connolly, as is my recollection, has been here since the very beginning. And so, Ms. Connolly, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please allow Honorable Judge Jeffrey Farrell to present you with a small token of our appreciation. This is a great and historic day here at the Polk County Courthouse. Thank you for allowing our organization to recognize these two key figures in making today possible. Please join me in one final round of applause for these two.